All right. What's going on? Thank you for joining us on this our episode that we're doing today, and we can't control our excitement because we are joined by a very special guest. Right here, we have one and only Nestor. What's up, man? What's up? It's really cool. We have one of our own. So, what brings you into Vegas, man?
You know, just visiting. I came down with my girls, and this includes, of course, my wife and my two daughters. We're just getting out of town. It's funny because you guys visit Jackpot in that area, and we visit Vegas.
Yeah. That's right on.
We know that you're like a true listener, so like
you know
all the stories.
I watch every single one, man. I cannot help it, but just I think of all the other stories, because like we were talking, like we grew up in around the same crowd, I think I grew up more with Tony and Louis and his brother and Faustino, but then you were in it, and I remember you guys just being part of it.
I'm at the end of it. I'm obviously the younger part of the generation, but we're nonetheless we're part of the same generation. It's Jackpot, man. You guys, we all know everything about it. It's awesome.
Before we go on, I want to tell your audience how cool the setup is and how legit this is. We have lights. There's the sound. Everything, man. It's we have somebody controlling the sound back there.
The boom mic.
I wish.
This is legit, guys. This is. I'm impressed.
And come to think of it,
I'm impressed.
How this idea was just started was just like a really, really drunk idea. I think. Tony at first was telling us to buy stock in MGM or something like that.
Yeah, buy stock in MGM, man. And then they're gonna go up.
And then we're like, Tony, shut up, dude. Come on, man. And then 20 minutes later, he's like, oh no, you know what we should do is a podcast too. And then the next day, after we all sobered up, I remember I texted you first.
Right?
Yeah. You know what? Tony had a very good idea. We should start a podcast.
It's like we're already doing that. Right?
Might as well let someone else hear what we're talking about.
And for the most part, it's always kind of topics we just talk about, like just regular weird topics, and then it always go into like a memory that we have. That was always fucking funny.
It can be the topic that's way off, and it'll bring you back to a story.
It always do that ring around. It's cool though.
There's special characters that we had growing up. Everybody, those specific people and this and that. They're just unique.
That's true, and I always try not to use nicknames, but sometimes it just happens because it's just, everyone knows as soon as you say a nickname, it's just like, oh yeah.
Growing up in Jackpot, I think that's what it is. I had a hard time not calling you Milky.
Yeah,
I remember that from a kid. It was like, oh yeah, hey Milky.
Shout out to Maggie because Maggie's got a list of all the nicknames that's been used for me. She has it on her phone. It's a long list, and she didn't believe in Milky, but hey, this guy just used it. Right?
I was like, it was Milky.
So that's a new one.
See, now you're already contributing, man.
That's how you grew up, man.
For sure.
If you didn't have a nickname, you were from Jackpot.
Right, yeah.
What I said earlier, I was like, Boach. What was his real name? I don't know.
The last one I remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, the last one was Tony Tonelook.
It's Eric calls me MacGyver.
MacGyver. Yes.
Probably one of the coolest ones is Moles.
Yeah,
because for the longest time, no one ever no one knew his real name. Because it was always Mole.
Dude, there for a while we called him Cinco.
Cinco.
Why, right?
No.
When he was a kid, his mom used to work with my mom when my mom had just gotten from Mexico, and she shaved them all, him and Toli and all those kids, and shaved them, but he really used no clip right here. None of them had a copete.
Oh yeah,
like in Mexico, a copete is just the front part with bangs and stuff like that. So it was like, oh man, they left you sin copete, and so his name was Cinco. And then Martin, the youngest brother, shout out to these guys. I love these kids. Martin, we called him Aton.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Yeah. I don't know why, but I remember you guys.
So he had no teeth. And then we were telling him, hey, dude, say raton. He's like, Aton. So we called him Aton, dude. Aton for the longest ever.
One of the coolest stories I have about Marty when he was a little kid, dude, he's just tremendous, dude. Like he was one of those kids that did not give a fuck, dude. And then so we taught Marty. He's like, Marty, dude, every time we go like una mano. He's like, all right, and then he just go like this. Like, so we're like, and you do it whenever, dude. Like you meet people, so we like, Marty, una mano. He's like, yeah. And then I just remember calling him Beast. Like he's always been
Beast. I remember when he was
and
Beast.
he was the team too.
We got so like into it, we forgot to what are we drinking tonight?
We have definitely. We have a variety, but I dropped by Lee's today, and I just went with Sierra Nevada. It's called Sidecar. It's an orange IPA. It has like an orange peel kind of taste, and I already tasted it. It's actually pretty damn good. So I'm loving it right now. I don't know if anyone else is going to try it, because I know Dean is not so fond of the
IPA. Is the white guy's version of pumpkin spice latte. That's like, I feel like, oh my god, we're gonna have IPAs like that. So that's it. Nah, man.
It gets me fucked up, and I can drink 2 of them. Bud Lights, I can keep going, and I'm sober by the night. So I love it.
I'm drinking this thing called Innocent Gun. It's a blood red sky. I don't actually know what it is.
A blood red sky?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
What is the percentage? It sounds like a lot.
Yeah,
it's dark.
Holy crap, dude. It says ingredients rat piss.
Dean, Tony's looking to kill
6.8% alcohol by volume.
This is about 7, I think.
I guess they brew it in rum barrels.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's not bad.
That's legit.
Well, I have a staple of I like to call memory in a can, or bad choices in a can. Right here, some Bud Light. Nestor, I know you had a Miller Lite earlier.
Yeah, so I haven't really drank until I went to Cancun, and I was drinking Coronas down there, enough to not even get drunk, and having my beer in Vegas.
Nice.
So
right on, yeah.
Hey,
this with the best people.
This show has a 3-drink minimum too, so you.
There you go.
Oh, right on.
Which is cool. Bud Lights, man. I feel like any podcast we're gonna have, we can have the most prestigious goddamn beers on the table, but I feel like a Bud Light's always gonna end up.
Always gonna show up.
Yeah, always.
Because like that's our staple, man.
Every party in Jackpot had Bud Light.
Yeah, always.
Bud Light is like. Have you guys seen Dazed and Confused?
No.
Okay, well, Matthew McConaughey plays this character. He's like, all right.
Yeah.
And he's the one that says like,
the thing I like about high school
girls is like, I keep getting older and they stay the same age. I feel like Bud Light is like Matthew McConaughey, like, because we'll get like new beers we're gonna try, but there's always gonna be that one beer that's like, like as old as you guys are gonna get, or as defined as your tastes are gonna be, you're still gonna have a Bud Light.
Always.
Dude,
So. Hell yeah, dude.
And I was wondering why, like, my brother-in-law Lupe, Foy's brother.
Yeah.
That's what he likes. He doesn't drink anything else. It's Bud Light. So if he's gonna come over to the house, I make sure that
there's Bud Light. Lupe is the coolest guy when he's drunk too, man.
I know, dude. You rarely get drunk with us, so. But
when he is,
he's
over.
He's pretty fun.
But I guess we'll go ahead and jump into it. We got our guest here, Nestor, and
thank you.
And we know, awesome, man. And we're glad to have you here. And for the most part, we know that you're in love with working out, and you're in love with like the whole health thing. So like. I am just excited that you're drinking a Miller Lite.
Right? It's actually healthy for.
Miller Lights are pretty. Calorie wise, it's not that bad. But we know that you're really into CrossFit, and we know that you love it. And I myself, I've never tried it myself. And me, I'm more into like, I guess with Dean a little bit more of like the powerlifting, which I want to throw as much weight as I can. I'm not into like the whole thing like CrossFit, which it's like I feel like you got to be like not 100%, you got to be like 120% in CrossFit, because like you're looking to push some crazy weight, and you're looking to push it like hard. And with powerlifting, you're just trying to like basic weight, basic bench, or basic like maybe a deadlift or so every now and then, maybe a squat. But with powerlifting,
leg day.
I don't know what you guys are looking at.
But I mean, with you, Nestor, like you're throwing crazy weight up, and like when I see it, I'm just like, I can never do that in 100 years.
Yeah, because we go to the gym, we work out and all that, but because we follow you on Instagram and Facebook, and we see all like the extra. And I was part of I took a class, and it is something else. Because I was at my job, I was doing like circuit training, and when I went in to take a class, I was thinking, okay, it's going to be kind of like circuit training, so I kind of know. But what got me is just like it's the reps that you do for like the 4 minutes. You have to get all these things, the number of reps and everything done, and you think it's in your head, it's like, oh, okay, I can do that within the 4 minutes, but like. When you're like at the 2 minute mark, you're like, "Wow, I'm not going to have time to do this. Like, this is crazy." So, and you're actually like you're going to competitions and you're So, tell us about it, man.
Yeah, so it's different goals. Like you were talking about like powerlifting and compared to CrossFit and bodybuilding, if you want to throw that in there and stuff like that. And so there's quite a differences, and ultimately it comes down to goals. What we focus a lot on is functional fitness. We focus a lot on, for example, deadlifts. Being able to teach people deadlift because then they're able to carry the groceries, being able to pick up stuff off the floor. 95% of the people that we have at CrossFit, they're there to give better health, better doctor reports. To be able to control their diabetes, and so that's our main focus. Work capacity. That's one of the things that we're talking about. Hey, how much work can you do in 4 minutes? With good coaching, you have to be able to do it safe. Dean took it in. He went into the class. And I love it. The best people we can have is like the no ego people. It's like, hey, I'm here to learn. Let me show you. Awesome. And he can throw it. So just to be clear, the way that I'm putting over my head, this guy's bicep curl.
I know. That has to all do with the power that the second throws a crazy way. And when I went into the gym with this guy, I knew that I was going to look like some kind of minuscule person compared to him. Because this guy's throwing some crazy weight.
I'm not back to do 165, but this guy's doing 405. I'm like,
right?
But I mean, the way I look at it though, like when you're you're in the weight room, because at work there's this one guy he was talking to me and he's like, well, I want to go work out, but I just I get too intimidated by like everything. I was like, dude, you have no reason, because like if you're in the weight room, and this is honest God truth, you can see a guy that like he's overweight, but he's in the gym. That guy probably has the most respect from everyone there, because they're saying that he's out there, doing something. And then when we went to the CrossFit, I saw a lot of people who were just there. Like you get almost like you have to take a step back, because like everyone is in there. Well, they might have their own goals and everything, but they're in there to do work and like just compete. Like it's almost, when I was in there, the best way to think about it, it's like when we were in high school, when we would do like the presidential fitness thing, and you have a group of people who just like who want to show everyone up. But this was kind of different because it was that same kind of intensity, but there was like no ego. Like, there was no ego. Like you can tell, and it felt comfortable, but you're at the same time you're like, well, I want this guy tries hard. I'm going to do it too.
Awesome.
I mean, we level the playing field, for like everybody. I mean, from ladies, in their 40s, 50s, to healthy guys at age 25, 27. And so they might not be doing the exact same weight. But, with the competition or the friendly competition would be an effort. It's like, hey, as much as, I'm pushing a push-up on my knees, you're doing real push-up. Well, we don't call them real push-ups, but like modified push-ups in the full, regular push-up, And so, but the intensity of how you want to put yourself is what you choose. So we have ladies, they're 40, 50 years old, and they're whipping our butts. Because I mean we're leveling the playing field and the playground, and so everybody it's at the same level when we start out, and I mean it's all about effort, And so and in our sport, a lot of it's the ladies is just they're. One of the things that we like the aspect of CrossFit, it's they get away from body image. It's a lot about what can your body do. not necessarily what can your body look like.
No, yeah, definitely. And I mean, look at you. You obviously look lean. You look
real
good.
Yeah. You know, I got a tan, dude. Shout out.
Shout out to that mustache.
You look really good right now.
Thanks,
but like, I mean, you don't look like a bodybuilder. Obviously, bodybuilders looking yoked and stuff like that. Like
Dean.
No, you look like just a regular guy. But I mean, you're obviously doing these heavy weights. You're throwing these things up, and it's crazy, man. Like
because the clean and jerk is probably one of the most hardest things.
My scariest workout.
Yeah,
I'm afraid of that workout.
I remember in high school, Hoffman would always tell, like, he would say the bench is not important because the bench, when you're alignment, maybe you use it when you're pushing someone.
Sure, right.
But if you want to be explosive, it's the clean and jerk. And when I was watching some people like do, it's like, wow, like I wouldn't be able to do this, you know. And I like to think I'm strong, but I'm not that strong. Right? You guys are just doing that, and you guys are doing it for like 10 reps, 12 reps, and you don't get tired at all, you know. And when I was there, you were coaching. Right. Or you were teaching. I was kind of hoping like you would do it too, because I've seen videos where you do it like in your garage, right?
Right. Yes.
That's man.
And so CrossFit, you know, we try to take the best. How I gotta explain it was 3 circles. You know, you have the aerobic capacity, and then you have the Olympic weightlifting,
okay,
and then you have the gymnastics, and so all that combined, right, that in the middle. That's what you want to be. You know, that's what you want to be good at. You know, you want to be a little bit of everything. So, Greg Glassman, the founder of CrossFit, he talks about it that you know, you have like powerlifters or bodybuilders, but can they run?
No,
or you have the runners, right? That you have marathon running. Yeah. And I mean, they're fast, they're quick, but can they lift?
Yeah,
you know, and so those, or you know, like if you want to throw some gymnastics in there, you know, I mean, can this exactly, like that, you know, like do you have the bodybuilder, the runner being able to do a ring muscle up, you know, or handstand walk, things that you know enable your body to do. Now, keep in mind, most of the people, you know, when you think about it, CrossFit really doesn't sell it as intensity.
No, yeah.
You know, we sell it as a way to get healthier. And so people that come into our gym, we don't have them, we're not coaching handstand walks, you know.
Yeah.
They're not going to need them in life, right?
No, yeah.
I mean,
I understand.
You know, and so, but like, you know, perfect example was deadlift. Well, they got to get the groceries up. Well, we're teaching them burpees. Now, do you know one of the tests that the doctor does to send you to an assisted home? They put the elderly people face down. They're just like, okay, we're going to put you face down. Can you get up? Nope. It's like, you know, time. Because what happens? You're living by yourself. You fall down, and then how are you going to get up?
Yeah, that makes sense.
If you go to the bathroom, you know, we're going to make you squat. Can you get off of the toilet?
Yeah.
It's like, probably not. You know, so functional fitness, you know, try to make sure that people stay mobile. Try to hit that being able to stay flexible and be able to stay in good shape, you know.
That's
so
that's awesome.
And that's for the long run.
It's really helpful, because in the long run, essentially, that's gonna help you out. Yeah.
Right. Now, you guys that are already fit and things like that, or you guys get some lifting done. Well, you guys do really well. He did really well. You know, he's not giving himself enough credit. You know. Like, everybody was impressed with that. How this guy's a man, the guy with the big arms and big chest. Like, you can tell.
Little legs.
But little legs.
I know. It's like.
I remember in football, when I was playing football, Brad Hesser would always give me shit because, like, yeah, he's built like a gorilla up here, but he's got them chicken legs. I was like, man, yeah, that's true. But how you were saying, like, CrossFit is not body image, though, but when you see these guys like who compete,
sure.
Like, dude, they are ripped.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like, okay, you see, because today I went to a gym. I was telling these guys it must have been today must have been the day for bodybuilders to go work out because there were people that were just big. Like, I don't think they'd be even able to tie their shoes. Yeah. And there were ladies who were probably as big as the guys that were just yoked. But you can tell they're bodybuilders.
Yeah,
but like with someone who does CrossFit, they look. Probably the best way to explain it is like how they look in 300, they're just like ripped
that's right,
and all that.
Yeah.
So I mean, have you done any of those competitions where you guys go and?
So the most recent competition that we did as a team. You know, it was like 3 men and 3 women.
Okay.
And we did a FitCon in Salt Lake City.
Okay, so you guys travel for it.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah. So we went. We did that competition. We placed 7th out of 12 or something like that. We didn't do as well as we wanted. However, we were competing with some regional athletes, and to be a regional athlete, I mean, these guys are.
They're probably pushing it. They probably do it their whole lives or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how long have you been doing it for?
5 years.
Okay. So
5 years.
I'm sure there's people that just been doing this their whole lives. And probably, pretty dang good at it, you know?
Right. And so, and that way also, in our gym we have CrossFit, but we also have Spartan training. Spartan. That's actually what got me into CrossFit was Spartan training.
Oh, so there's a difference between like.
So yeah. So I mean, CrossFit prepares you for everything. You know, prepares you for if you're a runner, if you're a skier, if you're a whatever. You know, if you want to just be a better dad. You know, it just prepares you for that. But I use CrossFit to make me better at Spartan races. And so Spartan races is obstacle course racing. Okay. There's a amount of certain length of miles that you run, and it has obstacles in it. And so you have to be proficient at those obstacles. If not, those are 30 burpees. And you have to have the fitness to do the burpees. If not, then,
Yeah.
And so, and shout out to Victor Rincon. He's looking to do his first Spartan race.
Wow.
Right
That's awesome.
I'm very proud of that guy,
Yeah.
He had a lot of goals.
I know Tyler does it too, right?
Yeah, he did. Yep.
Gibby and Brindolph, I think they do it too.
Yeah. So they do it. And so I think I'd asked Tony to do it. I mean, he showed off his shoes, and I was like, dude, those are some good shoes to run for Spartan races. He blew me off. He completely ignored me.
You know what, though? But I think it's because what Tony wants to really do is he wants to box, man. Because Tony's trying to fight anyone he sees, man. Anyone gives him a dirty look. Yesterday, he said probably one of the funniest things ever. He's like, hey, man, there's a new disease going around. He's like, what? Yeah, there's a new disease. What did you say?
It's called these hands. If you're not careful, you'll catch them.
Yeah. Tony's been dying to get in the fight, man. Tony's been itching.
I love that. That one's fucking funny. That one's good.
And I mean, I hope you don't mind me sharing the story. It's not really embarrassing or nothing. Remember we were in Jackpot and we're with Victor Rincon.
Oh yeah, Eric brought that up last time.
Yeah, we're a little drinking, and then we're making hamburgers. And then this guy's just he was tired. He's like, all right, I'm just gonna go to sleep. He laid down. And he's passed out, dude. And we cranked out the Mexican music, and he would get up and start dancing. We'd turn off. He'd go lay down.
Yeah.
And then he gets up, and then he starts just cussing at Victor. Hey, Victor, where's my pinche hamburguesa? He starts just going off on him, dude. He wants to just start throwing blows at him. Just like, Tony, chill out, brother.
Yeah, dude. Tony just wants to fight, man. That's what he does.
He just wants to get a clean fight out of him, man.
No, but but there's one competition for CrossFit every year. It's called the Opens. It's a competition that takes place every week for 5 weeks, and there are 5 different workouts, and you pretty much compete against the world. So everybody's scores goes on there, and you really rank yourself where you're at. And so, my goal is to be top 10 in Idaho, hopefully next year. I enter a different division because I'm old, 35 and older.
Man.
And stuff.
Looking good, man. The way you're throwing up is great. It's great.
You're only as old as you feel. Dude.
Yeah,
that's
true.
Exactly.
I did wake up this morning and I got a cramp looking for my shoe. I got real quick, dude.
When we were driving back from Jackpot, Mikey asked me to pass him something from the front seat, and I grabbed it and I passed it to my elbow, just popped, and I didn't think anyone heard it. And then Mike was like, damn, dude, that was your elbow. And I was like, yeah.
Oh, dude. Well, it happens.
You gotta be healthy with the joints, man.
Oh,
that's one thing that I haven't been doing. But
you guys still look good, man. I was glad to hear that you guys are hitting up the gym and stuff like that. I mean, whatever you do and whatever you're, to just reach whatever it is, a goal, because it comes down to goals. And if you're out there to be healthier, to do some weightlifting and get in the gym, you're doing something. You're already beating anybody that's saying
anybody that's
that's it. They're not going to the gym. Yeah,
exactly.
Watch TV or whatever. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
Really, really true. I mean, obviously, you love CrossFit, right? It's obviously a really great thing. I mean, one thing I always wanted to know was like what got you into it? Like what turned you on to it? It's just, I didn't really know what got me into lifting weights, but like I was at 165 and I knew I was really small, and all I wanted to do is I wanted to gain. I wanted to throw some fucking weight on me, you know. And that's the only reason why I wanted to start lifting, and I've been lifting ever since. But like with CrossFit with you, like what was it that like drove you? What was it that got you
so I'm glad you're looking for something fun. Because that, you know, when you make it fun, I mean, it totally engages you, you know.
Yeah.
Originally, I got into it because I wanted to get better at the sprint races. That was about 2012. I fell off the rope. They have those knots on each of the ropes. Well, they had them. And I fell, hit me right in the groin. And so, I need to get better, you know, there's rope climb things. And somebody had told me about this CrossFit box, the pack. And so, you know, I joined him and stuff like that. Taking it farther down, my daughter, Haley, oldest one, she has cerebral palsy. So she can't walk yet. And so the very first time that my wife got actually into it was because she saw a person walking in a CrossFit gym. So when we started talking about being able to modify all those and leveling the playing field for everybody to work out, I mean, it's all inclusive. It goes from, I mean, because you're old and you have a surgery or because of something broken, whatever, you can still work out. And so in reality, you know, looking back at it, I look, my daughter may not have those opportunities to play soccer and basketball in high school, like these other kids, you know. I wanted to give her the outlet of being able for her to do something in CrossFit, you know. Okay. And so for her to claim a sport for herself, I would love to do that. And so, you know, but how are you going to do that? You know, you can't just like, oh, well, when she gets older and stuff like that, you know. So I thought, you know, that's only what motivated me to become a trainer, to become a level 1 trainer with CrossFit and things like that. To one day being able to push her and be able to give her own workouts and be able to make her stronger and, you know, self-reliant in that aspect.
That's so fucking cool.
Cool.
That's awesome, man.
It's their new normal now. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like even for Abby, you know, 11-month-old, you know, we take them to the gym, you know, mom or I will hang around with them while one of us works out and stuff like that. So
that's pretty awesome.
And it's cool because and shout out to the pack because they're really, really, because when I went there, it is you know, I didn't know anyone there, but they really make you feel, you know, they cheer you on, they make you feel part of the group, and it was really, really cool. It was a cool feeling.
We pride ourselves on welcoming people.
Yeah, no, it was really cool, man. I really liked it. So the next day I was sore as hell, though. I was super sore. Yeah, but it was cool. It was totally worth it, man. I really liked it.
Well, I'm glad you liked it because, you know, I had told Dean that I was going to come down to Vegas. Like, hey, dude, I'm going to be down, and then I was afraid to give him a call. Like, damn, dude, this guy's throwing so heavy weight. I'm like, dude, my bench is only 205, dude.
Today was back on shoulders, man.
Oh, dude, I know.
I remember when me and Mike worked out the first time, and we did chest that day. And I guess you told me like the next day. Like,
dude, I was dying. I was dead.
Oh, dude.
I mean, that was the most I was ever pushed in a really long time, man. So like,
because it's really cool when you work out with a group of people. Because when you're by yourself, I mean, it's like how we talk about how Joe Rogan says, like discipline. Like when I'm working out by myself, I make sure that I'm doing everything the right way. I'm like pushing myself. But when you're working with somebody else, it just adds that little extra.
Yeah,
because there was someone
that
there.
makes it fun too.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it's always fun.
You always need a spotter.
Oh, dude. Definitely.
I heard.
If you haven't benched and got caught,
no, I have recently. Recently,
So yeah, dude. So you've done it, yep.
Because me and Luis went to the gym, and then I was like, you know, I'm gonna bench. So I did the weight I could do. I was like, you know, for fun, I'm gonna add like 50 more pounds.
Yeah.
And then I got it off.
I don't think it was for fun, dude. I think
I got it off, and then I was like, all right, I got this, and then it just fell onto my chest, and there was a guy next to me, like, can I get some help? And Luis ran across the gym to come and take it off me.
It was yeah.
The first time I got pinned, it was in Blue Sky. See, I was the when you guys talk about like the other side. I'm representing the Blue Sky kind of people.
You lived right next to the laundromat for a while.
Blue Sky, Aaron,
Green Acres,
Gato, Pancho. Aaron,
oh damn, you were there.
It was like that was Blue Sky.
Paulo.
I know. See, it wasn't until we got cars that we, really visited.
Yeah, go to the other side.
Which it really wasn't that far, but it's people were just like, it's miles away.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's probably a mile.
Yeah.
Mile, maybe?
Probably less than that.
Less than a mile, but yeah.
And so, I had one of those weight sets with the sand. The weights are just sand and the plastic.
That sounds familiar.
And then it's just a tube, a iron tube. I don't know if you guys remember that, dude.
Yeah.
And I borrowed Eric's weights. I mean, he was only my neighbor, He just brought him over, and I'm just there by myself. And I remember it's like, I'm gonna do this. I started just benching. I was like, oh, dude, this feels, and all of a sudden it's like, and I'm like, I couldn't flip it. I couldn't bring it down because it was stuck by the TV.
Oh
and,
shit!
I did the typical, mama. I was like pinned, dude.
Yeah.
Nobody heard, dude. I'm just like slow. I don't know how I got out of there, dude. But that was a scary deal.
And so, I mean, it feels like all of us disabled. Have you ever gotten caught?
I did, like yeah. When I was at UNR my freshman year, I was going for 205.
Okay.
And then I was going, and I think mine was a little bit more embarrassing because I didn't put clips on the bench. So now I was going, and then somehow like one arm was stronger than the other, and then I kind of just tilted, and then all the weight slipped off, and then I just went whoop, whoop, and then I'm just sitting there, and then there's people watching you, and there's no way to play it off, man. There's no way to play it off like cool.
You can't, right?
I mean, because like if you're doing with like dumbbells, you can just like if you can't lift them, you just throw them, and you're like, okay, dude,
right.
you're playing off. Like,
But when plates come
that's when like I've done it like maybe twice, 3 times. So that now if I work out by myself, I make sure that I'm not like going like overboard because I don't want to be that guy.
And now you don't want that spotter that's like you're looking up. They're like,
you know what sucks though is sometimes I think people might think I'm like too full of myself because I was doing shoulder presses with the 100-pound dumbbells.
Oof.
And I'm going up, and usually I take a pause before I'll push up. And a guy came up to me and was like, hey man, you need a spot? And that could have been in the way I responded to him, but I was like, nah, man. I kind of like laughed off. And then I did it, and then I was at the end. I was like, fuck, man, I really came off like a douchebag. I don't want this dude doesn't think I'm a douche.
Oh, yeah.
Nah.
You smack him with it.
What are you talking about?
That's we were talking about that, too. That we were just. I think now it's in our DNA, or we're just so programmed by habit. Like if someone comes up to you and goes like this, you automatically just cover your nose.
Yeah, cover the nose, man.
I love how you said it last time. It doesn't matter how professional you are, or the setting that you're at. Or you could be in a funeral, dude. And you're from Jackpot, dude. It's one of those that if you just go like this, dude, you automatically gotta flinch.
You got it.
You just don't trust those people.
You gotta prep for that block.
And I remember you talking about doing it to somebody that's not from Jackpot.
No,
I did happen the same. I went like this, and they're like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm sorry.
I remember my 7th grade year when and you guys were seniors.
Yeah.
And how you guys had the blue lockers that were like at the very end. And, and when we would be walking to Miss Yeoman's class, she was by your guys' lockers. I would kind of dread it because, like, if I saw Eric, I'd maybe get, like, nut check or a wedgie. A wedgie was the worst. You'd, like, get an Eric wedgie. So, like, when there would be people walking by, I'd kind of hide, like, trying to see if, like, Eric didn't see me. But somehow he always saw me, dude. And he might not in the hallways, but I know, like, in the gym, he would, like, just grab me, dude, and just give me, like, the meanest wedgie ever, dude. Like,
he would pride himself on the wedge that he would give by ripping the underwear.
Yeah.
And it was like, dude, like, those cost money, right? Dude. And they leave marks. But yeah. Dude, yeah. They were bullies, dude.
Yeah, but it was we were talking about before the podcast. Like, I think it's just how like we all grew up, and maybe we were just special in a way that like we grew up in a special town where everyone got along, but we still did a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah,
because
a lot of stupid shit.
Like Eric would give you a wedgie, but at the same time, like if you really needed any kind of help, Eric would be like one of the first guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Eric was always there, man.
Yeah,
yep.
It was awesome, man.
Give me a call, Eric, dude. I haven't heard from you like ever. I called you.
Ulrich, dude. Oh man. Oh, because we watch a lot of Game of Thrones. There's one good character in Game of Thrones who he has his like a spy network, and he always knows all the gossip.
That's Eric. You literally know all the chismes.
So that's how we call Eric, because like every story I've heard from Frost, he's heard from Eric. And what's cool is like it gets. Eric will say, but it keeps getting embellished with more shit. So at the very end, when you hear it, there's like, man, I don't believe that happened, but like it did. We just proved it right now.
That was true.
Yeah, she liked it.
That's true. That was true. Apparently.
Oh yeah.
Which it's funny.
Kind of going back on the talk. I was going to ask you, how do you get certified to coach for like CrossFit? Do you have to take tests? Or?
So it's actually a weekend course that you take. You know, starts Saturday. It's kind of it's intense. It's a full Saturday, it's a full Sunday with the test on Sunday. You know, and then they get a bad rap. So, well, you go on the weekend and you get certified, and you're a trainer. Well, the test is not easy. You know, it's one of those things that if you have experience, then you know kind of what they're talking about. You know, they can go through the course. I mean, they go through the basics and things like that. But just having the experience definitely helps. Can you just read the textbook and just, you know, push your way through? Yeah, you can, you know. But will that make you a good trainer? Will that make you a good coach? You know, it really doesn't. And so that's how you start getting those bad coaches, you know, that tell you, hey, push past the pain. You know, well, you got a hurt shoulder. Like, well, you know, too bad. You know, pain. You know, no pain, no gain. And that's how you get some of the bad rap from CrossFit. That you know, you have a lot of people that just all about the money, and they care more about the gym, things like that. You know. But it's kind of like it's something like a course, kind of like that you know, you read text before that, and then there's levels. You know, I'm just level 1. There's level 2, level 3, up to level 5. But there is like different classes that you can take once you have your level 1. Like modifications, you know, for people with disabilities and things like that. You know, that's one. Or people just modifications in general. There's gymnastics. There's a whole class on just kettlebells. You know,
really?
You know, you can do so much with kettlebells. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't do enough with kettlebells.
Oh man, they are.
I've done kettlebell swings. Now, it looked easy, but it wasn't.
Well, you have, you know, you have the American, the Russian, and then you have workouts with it. You know, it's amazing. You know, the type of workout. But so you kind of built up on that. You know, the biggest misconception is that, well, I'm gonna get my trainer certificate, and then and I'm going to be a coach the next day. Well, I had the opportunity, and I was so glad, you know, to get by taught by Becky Chambers, you know, one of our coaches there. And she taught me, you know, like, hey, how do you prepare from the night before? You know, how do you deal with people and injuries? Hey, how do you modify how do you scale this? You know, how do you work the people? And so our classes from the mornings that you saw, they were pretty big. And so we had 2 coaches that day. We're hoping that it was like a smaller class so I can jump in to work out with him. Ended up being a big class. And so, you know, you kind of have to have eyes on everybody. Okay. Just so they don't get hurt. You know, that's the worst thing you want to have, somebody getting hurt or dropping something over their head and things like that. And so, but yeah, you know, it's something that you kind of start picking up at first and then you build up on it. But the test is the step number 1 to get there.
And then that's cool because if you have instructors or coaches who, like you said, will know,
sure,
and then they don't push you, because at my job at the yoga studio, there's 2. Shout out to Stephanie and Ferdinand. They're both coaches. Well, Stephanie works front desk and she coaches. She teaches like sculpt classes.
Yeah,
and Ferdinand teaches all the I took circuit training with him.
Nice.
They are like excellent coaches because they know. I mean, they'll know your limits,
Absolutely.
but they'll still push you. But then they don't want to push you to get hurt. They're excellent coaches. So that's
really
cool.
Like
coach. Said, yeah,
that's the sign of a good coach. That's awesome. And it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't have to be necessarily just CrossFit.
Mm-hmm.
You have circuit training or yoga and
things
like that.
Sculpt and everything. Yeah,
it's in everything. It's in everything. That's the worst thing. You want to have somebody get hurt for inexperience or not knowing the person or just want to push them for intensity.
Yeah.
But that's
actually that's where I got like all my back and shoulder workouts from was from Stephanie because she does bikini. It's I don't know. It's like it's not bodybuilding, but she's still like she's yoked.
Oh, nice.
And then Ferdinand, he does a lot of like weights and everything, and that's cool. I said like there's no egos. It's just like if you're always learning. Because anytime I'd go up to them and like, hey, like I have one trap smaller than the other. What can I do? Or like one of my lats isn't coming out.
Everything
they would tell me, dude, just like I soak them like a sponge, dude.
Oh,
and it's been working, dude. Cause
it's like do legs.
That's the only time I've been like, that's the only time my partner and it comes out.
They have this, just like
you know when like
you know what a leg press is.
you know when they're like you're getting something at school and the teacher's telling you something, you just kind of smile and nod. And just like, you need to do more leg work. Yeah.
That face is when I had, shout out to Mr. Roberts. He's such a great guy. And, but that's the same face I had. I was like, hey, Mr. Roberts, what about problem number one? It's like, tell the and then, and it was the same face. I was like, yeah, and I didn't really speak English, so we were just walking around doing it. I'm like, you understand? I just like walked back.
I have no idea what is going on. Yeah.
That's Bernie, dude. I was like, dude, I really need an answer.
To be honest, dude, Kyle taught me math. Like my sophomore through senior year, Kyle taught me math. Kyle was my math teacher.
I was in chapter 1. That's what they had, right? It was chapter 1 for like if you couldn't catch
that's
up.
what they called it. Yeah,
It was chapter
1.
But I was actually good at math. I was really ahead of everything on math, but it was because I didn't speak the language. And so it was majority the one that she was like impressed of like, well, what are you doing here? And I'm like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
But I like the candy, dude. I like just getting out of class, dude, and these guys would tell horror stories about like, oh my god, like homework and all this and. I was like, me not speak English. That's what I would do, dude. That's awesome. But,
yeah, because we were talking about like how Mr. Roberts had that unique gift to make you feel, like about that big and shit like that, and really like make you feel so stupid for such a simple question. Oh man, those are yeah.
Oh dude.
And then I don't know if you heard the podcast like. I guess Mr. Roberts had his chair.
Oh yeah! I was in that class. So I was in the back.
So what happened? What's the dirt?
Yeah.
So
everyone wants to hear the story.
you have to be impressed with how graciously he took it. Because it was one of those that was like, oh man, you could just laugh your balls off. Like, oh my god! But the way that he took falling off a chair. It was just like, phew, he almost like landed with class. And then he got up, we're like, what's he going to say? He's going to throw swings, I mean, he's going to get cry. I don't know, And then it's like, Eric, what did you do to my chair? And then everybody's like, ah. And then he kind of smiled like, okay.
That's what we were talking. You guys were talking about like after basketball trips where you guys would stay quiet because you didn't want Carlos.
Oh, no, it's definitely. That's exactly how it was. But, because Eric was the JV coach, we'd always we'd wait for Eric to play, we'd wait for Eric to say the joke, and as soon as Eric says the joke, and then we all like, right, Carlos? And then Carlos would be So that's how it was.
For the same reason, Eric got in trouble, but he was not a coach. He was a player. So we got our asses whipped. Dude, it wasn't even, like, oh, well, we lost by 10.
Oh, don't worry, dude. My class broke your class's record.
Dude, we lost against Twin Falls JV.
Oh no!
Oh, it was rape, dude. I mean, we had a rape whistle, dude. And so we get on the bus.
It was whistled first quarter.
Dude, we get on the bus, and Eric, it was quiet, and Eric starts cracking jokes like, "Oh yeah, this and that, funny guy, this and that, blah blah." And then we're all laughing, dude. We're just laughing, dude. And then Wally gets up, like, "You sons of bitch, you guys just lost. You guys lost." And you guys are laughing?
Yeah,
like, really?
Right?
Is that how you guys, so it was quiet after that for about 5 minutes. And it was like, oh.
That's what's cool about us. Like, we can be, we lose and all that, but we can still at least find the humor.
Right. At the end of the trip, Wallach was even laughing with us. He was like, oh, fuck it, we lost.
That's true. It's Jackpot.
However, we did win second place, right, Louis? Eureka.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Louis back there. Hey, everybody, Louis is alive. I just saw him. I kid you not. He looks the same.
Oh, man. If you see Carlos, though, tell him, dude, Carlos, I want to see Carlos so he can catch these hands. Me and Carlos, you know what, what was really funny is because my senior year, we were really bad. So we were really.
Was he your coach?
Bad. Yeah, that's when he took full time.
Oh, gotcha.
But and for some reason Carlos really didn't like the seniors. I was the only one that he taught, but I think it's because me and him worked at the buffet.
Oh yeah.
And then there was one time. Yeah, my junior year. There was one time my mom had just gotten a cell phone and it had this really kind of annoying ringtone. And I'd always play it, just to hear the ringtone. Yeah. And then one time Carlos was asleep, and I went up, and he was a JV coach, and I went right up to him and I played it. And he got up, and he started, and then I was like, Carlos, I got you. And then what's so cool is he waited maybe 2-3 hours later, and we got up on I think Wells or somewhere to start go eat. Oh, just like nothing, dude, walking by, and then Carlos just comes. Not nonchalantly, just fucking nut chicks the hell out of me.
I'm gonna tag you back.
He was a coach. So here I am, dude. And it's so cool because even though it happened, we didn't want Wally to find out. Right, so I'm like, I'm gonna grab my nuts, dude. Carlos is laughing, and then I'm still trying to hide from Wally because I didn't want to be like, man, Wally, dude, Carlos is a fucking nut checker.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, but if you see Carlos, you tell. And then
I actually was on the phone with him yesterday morning.
Was he? Oh, dude. See, I got along with Carlos really well. One of the funniest things was my senior year. We were playing Wells, and he started benching every single one of the seniors. So he started with Ricky Garcia, who he never liked for some reason. Carlos hated him, benched him, and then he looked at McKenzie. Bench McKenzie. Simon was out there. Simon never got to play and all that. Simon was out there. Simon's out there a minute. Benched him. And then I'm the only senior there. And then Carlos, he looks at me. He's like, Dean. He's like, yeah, I thought he was going to call play. He points at me. He points at a chair on the bench. And he says, you're next. No, what the fuck did I do, man?
Wow, that's brutal.
He was brutal, dude. He was brutal. Man.
How far in age are you guys?
3 years? No, 4 years.
Yeah, about 4 years. Because I started, was it my freshman when you were a senior, or was I?
No, I already graduated.
I was an 8th grader when you were a senior. So when I was coming into freshman year, you already had graduated by then. Yeah. So. Yeah, about 4 years.
Yeah, we were only bad my senior year, and then because college,
everything went up after that.
Well, I was gonna say one of the best classes. It was this guys.
Well, yeah, it was my junior year, Foley's senior year.
Holy crap, you guys!
Pretty dang good, but we.
Did you also graduate with Quano?
Yeah, John was my.
So John, right? Okay, so you, Foley, and John.
David, Foley, John, David, and Hester were our starting five.
That's right. And you guys, did great.
We were a good team, man. Yeah. We didn't get anywhere with it. So.
No, but you still did good.
Definitely. Yeah,
I remember after I graduated, I came back to watch a game. They were playing Wells and Jackpot, and Mole shot a 3, and everyone in the crowd was like, it went quiet.
They sucked in
all the air.
Because Mole had
the weirdest shot, dude. You shoot like this, and it's he's casting a spell, dude. When he released the ball, and everyone went quiet. And I I think the collective gasp, like if it was a comic, you know, when they draw the air bubbles, it would have said "fucking mole." Like everyone was like, and then it went in, and then it just like
it was a bang.
And the loudest bang too was like donk, and then went in, and then everyone just went crazy, and then because the same thing happened. Going into my senior year, I went to basketball camp in Reno, and Mole hit a game winner. Like from that part, Mole hit it. And Mole
who would have thought?
Yeah,
Right?
it was so funny. It's like usually after a game winner, you pick up the guy, you're like, you're happy. We went up to Mole, and we started slapping the shit out of him, dude, just slapping him. And then the next day, we were like meeting the UNR players, and one of the guys looks at the Mole, like, "Hey man, you're the one who hit that game winner yesterday." And then Mole's all there, all red. We took it a little too far.
Pinche cinco.
Fucking Mole.
That was a nickname. Cinco has a whole meaning.
Yeah.
I remember that because he looked like one of those Brazilian soccer players because he just have a big ass thing. Like one time, I don't know if it was Tolly or Mole. He got a haircut, and instead of because I remember back in the day, it was a cool thing to have like you say your bangs and then coming back.
Yeah.
But somehow they made a square, but they made it a little higher. So he was like he had a shaved head, but he had it right here.
It was like
I don't know
him
if
and all his brothers, dude.
Yeah.
It was like his mom was mad or something. Dude. It was like,
I'm gonna fuck your day
out, dude. I know.
Was he known as Jackpot Joe for a while too?
That was like in 2010. Like, but he went through so many nicknames that it just started.
You guys, whoever came up with that, you guys went on. I mean, it was like a mystery.
Yeah,
because nobody knew who Jackpot Joe. And it was like Jackpot Joe had a Facebook page. Dude,
world is Jackpot
it was
Joe?
like we had characters that nobody knew. We had Skippy, and we had what was the other one? The Baby Seal, and what was the other one, Louis? We had like 3, dude, and it was just characters that nobody knew. We would write them out. They were cartoons, and people would be.
Yeah, we got Skippy.
Right?
Yeah,
It was Skippy was it was a character from South Park.
Kenny, Eric.
It was a little shit.
Stan.
Right?
Mr. Hanky?
Mr. Hanky.
Something like that. We call it, and then so it was like Skippy, and then for everything, dude, it was Skippy. So so I'm at work. I work for IT in a bank in Idaho, and then I get a phone call, and it was it came from to corporate. They transferred corporate to our branch, and our branch to upstairs where we're at. And it's like, yeah, they're saying it's a Ronnie McGee. I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, well, no, that was the girl that answered the phone. It's like, I beg your pardon? Like, yeah, there's a Ronnie McGee. Actually, it's in downstairs in your branch looking for Nestor. So Ronnie McGee, that's so that character, we made him up, Ronnie McGee, and everything. I mean, Ronnie McGee was infamous to the cops. It's like, hey, so we have information that somebody broke this and this and that. It's like, yeah, I think there was a guy in town named Ronnie McGee. and Jim Black, rest in peace, It's like, okay.
Right,
How do you spell R-O? And then, like, yeah, Ronnie McGee. Okay, well, we'll keep this information, but we got to find out who broke that window. It's like, okay. And so, but that was, and so.
I think your cousin wanted to fight him, Michael.
Michael would fight anyone. Dude. Michael was always like, those cartoons when you show a bull like a red cape. That was Michael. Like you saw Michael something red, and you wanted to fight.
He was on Facebook. They was trying to fight because his name didn't get recorded. I mean, he should have gotten recorded for his senior year and his name.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him. I mean, he is kind of right. I mean, his name should have been on there, but he was not. So he was angry, dude.
Because didn't he got kicked out of a game, right? Against like Eureka. Like I remember, dude was at home and he's going on, he's dropping F-bombs and And I'm sitting there next to my aunt, and then she's just kind of like shaking her head. She's like, "Oh my god."
I know. I mean, I can understand why he's mad. Though.
Yeah.
You know, like, dude, his name should have been up there. You know?
Oh yeah, but
he was a good athlete. He was always a great athlete, dude.
I remember,
a hothead, dude.
Yeah. I remember you guys call him and Jason and like Clifton like the O-Duders.
Yeah. Not knowing, like, I use that word now, even at work.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Like, yeah, they were the O-Duders, dude. Everybody had a nickname, dude.
Yeah.
It was like,
you know, one of the word, like, I think that was one of the worst ones is when we used to call Alberto Mendes, we call him Butt.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, Butt.
Yeah, just like, hey,
And then it's funny because then I threw in Nasty, so we call him Butt Nasty. And in my freshman year at Nevada, Bud was hanging out with like his friends, and he was like totally like prepped out, like he was wearing loafers with like no socks and all that.
Oh no!
You know, it's all cool.
Right,
and I get there, and I don't know anyone in Nevada, and I see him, and it's like, Butt Nasty, like in front of everyone.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
The whole
And he just
world
kinda looks at him.
his whole world just like Butt Nasty. Vietnam flashback.
Yeah, because and then you guys call Dustin Russell, you call him Surfer.
Yeah, Surfer.
Surfer.
Dude, it's funny, but I bumped into him, dude.
Oh,
yeah, dude, I bumped into him at Costco, and I'm like, and I could not remember his name.
Yeah.
And it was like, Surfer! Nestor! And, you know, he's got a whole family, you know, a big old beard and everything, dude. And,
I remember Carolina.
Peanut, too.
Peanut,
that was
Gibby, Peanut.
Yeah.
Chespy.
Chespy, dude, you know,
Chespy's not-
I don't think they, like, anybody knew Chespy's real name for the longest time.
No.
The teachers, like Mr. Ward, is like, yeah, Chespy. You have to go look. It's like, oh, yeah, his real name's Jesus. But he was just named Chespy. They were writing his name down like, you know, like Chespy Mendes.
You know what's so
It
funny?
says on his diploma, Chespy.
Yeah, dude.
He used to drive. What was it? It was the Mazda.
The Bronco.
The Zoom.
Mazda.
No, but the Zoom.
Yeah, yep.
And then I remember, like, we all, and we were kind of digged because we'd make fun of like his accents. Or,
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Chespy, the Zoom. And then, oh, dude, Chespy was always a trip when we played open gym, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you hated being on Chespy's team because he took it a little too serious.
Right.
Chespy and Chespy and Pancho
Yeah,
always
yeah.
took it like a little too serious.
Dude, it was like this story, and I'm sorry, compa, I'm saying all this story, dude. But one of the infamous that me and Dean always had, dude, it was like it was somebody that hadn't taken a shower at work, and he was like, dude, you know, like he got tired of it. Like, dude, this guy is not taking a shower, and I think there was like a language barrier, you know. And then finally he comes in, and he was so mad that day because he worked at the buffet with you guys.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he pushes his straight down, like,
Oh, yeah.
these motherfuckers stinks. It was some guy, and the guy just looked at him like you know, Chespy was just mad. Dude. Like, dude, this guy's not showering.
But that was before because I remember we used to go to the buffet.
Yes.
When it was on Wednesdays,
Yeah.
and the whole thing happened like with Eric, like because we'd get in like very sneaky ways, like all that, and then when I started working at the buffet, the only person that was kind of left from that group was Carlos.
Yes.
Carlos, the only guy that at one time Carlos drew Isidro to almost like amazing. Like to the point where he had like the braid and the mustache. Carlos drew, and me and Tyler saw him. We were dying. Like they could hear us in the buffet line. We were just dying, dude. And then Isidro comes in like, "What's so funny?" You know, like with and then we pointed at him. He looks at it. And then he walks out, dude. When we were cracking up, dude, because Carlos drew him like almost to the point, dude. Like,
is that the same time when you guys made a guy eat rolls with Tabasco in it? I can't remember his name, dude. You guys bullied him pretty bad. What was his name? See, I would hear all these stories, dude. I was a spectator, dude.
It wasn't one of the European workers.
No. He was a really nice kid, dude, and you know he would go in there and it's like, hey, I can't remember his name. And I worked over at the Gala showroom, and they told us, like, hey, dude,
damn it,
would you eat a roll full of Tabasco?
Yeah.
No, dude, wait for it, for $15. So these guys like $15. give me the roll.
Yeah.
And these guys remove the top thing and just like freaking, just busting Tabasco. Dude, that thing was moist. That thing was dripping. And then so he's like eating it in pieces. He's like, he's sweating, dude. He's breathing hard. This guy, I mean, he in his head is like, man, I don't know if that's gonna pay off the ER bill.
Right?
Thing, no, and then wait, he's just like, he's red and he's eating it. So he takes that last swallow, and then he just throws it all back up.
No.
He throws it all up, dude. And these assholes, dude, says like, nah, dude, that doesn't count.
Eat it. Dude,
They gave him
all night.
They gave him $0, dude.
It's gonna bother me all night. I'm not gonna remember who it was.
Was he a local kid or was he like one of the Twin
he
Falls?
was from Twin Falls, right?
Yeah.
Like, he would drive down, dude. Nice kid, dude. But he wanted the challenge. Didn't give him the $15, dude.
Not even $1.
Oh,
man.
He's like zero.
But it was probably Carlos. Carlos is a big ass troll because, Phil's wife, Karina.
Yeah.
When I started working, there, fucking Carlos. Every time I was in the back, and naturally I'm a shy guy. It doesn't matter. Like any girl who would talk, I instantly turn red. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll do it. I'm just shy. And then I happened to get shy in front of Carlos, and he never let me live it down. And something happened, like where Karina said something, and I like turned red, and I did it. And then Carlos, when he gets his white eyes, he's like, fuck, dude, you love her, huh? Like instantly, you love her, huh? And then I guess he told Karina, like, oh, Dean loves you, and then my mom, who's really good friends with Karina's sister, she spent the night in Twin one time. And I guess Karina was woke up in the morning. She's like making French toast and all that. And Karina's a big girl and all that. And then she's all making her French toast. And she looks at my mom and said, your son, Dean, he likes me. And then I get over and my mom tells me no, that was. I think it's the first time I ever cussed in front of my mom. I was like, no, that was fucking Carlos, man. Dude, and then I told Carlos, dude. You know how Carlos gets when he starts laughing, he turns all red, dude. Yeah, fucking Carlos. That when the movie Waiting came out, did you see Waiting?
Oh yeah,
dude. That was the buffet.
Yeah. Oh,
that
dude,
was
I know.
Working at the buffet, dude. That was you had your servers who were just like fucking bad shit crazy, and then you had the cooks. Like the bunnies was Butt's dad, Chesapeake's dad. Like he didn't want to do shit for anyone. Like once 9 o'clock hit and people wanted to get pasta, he's like, no, closed. Close all this shit, dude. Oh man, it was fun. Oh shit!
Remember Tony that we used to work in a buffet, the old Australian man?
No, I think that might have been.
I don't know when he retired, but I remember he worked there forever. He's an older white guy.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Dude, I think he retired soon now. I mean, yeah.
Because I remember when I left, he was still there, but I don't know if he was still there or not.
When I worked, Carol.
2005.
That's when I started working on the buffet.
You realize that's 12 years ago.
Yeah, it was
13.
a long time ago.
I wish I would say that was about 5 years ago.
No,
it's not.
Dude, that's real. That's before women could vote, dude. That's it was crazy. Because I remember when who was in charge of the Carol was the head, and everyone called her La Nana, La Nanita or La Nana. Oh, fuck. It was always Isidro and Salas. They'd be swinging, no, la nana está encabronada. And I don't know if Carol ever caught on to people calling her that, dude. But oh man, those are fun times. Those are really, really fun times.
Did I answer all your questions, dude? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sidetrack on all these guys.
That's what happens when we do our fun. We started off really well.
I love it. Dude, I love it. I love it.
No, we just go, man. We just go on tangents, and hey, that's what we have here. Essentially, we just go off tangents. But no, you definitely answered all the questions I wanted to hear, which
that's cool.
I mean, especially the reason that got you in the CrossFit, even with your daughter and everything. Sure, that's awesome, man. Dude, I utmost respect for you, man. That's so fucking cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What got you into lifting?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, dude. Like I said earlier, it was just I was a skinny kid. I was a skinny kid who wanted to get a little bigger,
So anytime that I remember you, I remember you being that small, dude. I mean, like,
I swear that's
dude.
the story I
And
stole.
then it was
Even when he walked in, he's like, "You're only
so
that."
you and
What's wrong?
Foy always together, and then Foy always in sandals for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, some
And then you
pirate
had
set or
you
something.
always had like a broken down bike, dude. And you just like running. I don't know. That's how I remember you in spring.
We're making our way somehow.
And Foy, dude, he always had like the red mark from popsicle, dude. Like,
Yeah,
it almost seemed like a broken
yeah,
like
he
peak,
did.
dude.
Yeah,
It was
he
like a beak, you know, like a little pollito, dude.
Yeah.
It had, like
for
red
sure.
right here.
Yeah,
Dude.
he always had it.
And I was like, dude, I just remember you guys just as kids. Because, I mean, I grew up with your brothers,
No, yeah.
you know, Louis and Ishmael.
Definitely.
And, but I remember, like, you guys were always there. But,
That's for sure. But no, yeah. I mean, I moved down here, and I just worked for the most part down here. Then
how do you and Maggie met? I want to hear that.
Oh, she went to bed.
Gone,
She
man.
went to bed.
It's a little later now, so
Oh.
she's not here anymore. But no, we met at work, and I had just started at Best Buy, is where we work at,
Oh.
and I just started in the mobile department, so we sold phones, essentially what we did, and she needed a day off, so she looked through our whole list of people that worked in our mobile department, and she saw that I had a day off, and she's like, "Hey, if you can work this day, like I would greatly appreciate it." And I was like, "Oh, cool." I was just looking for fucking hours. That's all I was. Just like, I need some hours, man, because I was working part time. I just wanted to like make my name or a statement just so I could get like more hours, you know, so I can get more hours and pay more. And she saw that, and then I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll take your day. I'm okay with that." So I took her day and everything like that. And then she's like, "Well, I got to pay you back. There's some way I got to pay you back." And I was like, I don't know how you're gonna pay me back. I'm okay with just working the day because I'm like I need hours, you know.
Right,
and then
right.
but she's like, "No, I'll buy you McDonald's," which is across the street from where we worked, and she's like, "I'll buy you McDonald's," and she's like, "Oh, you can't say no." So we went and bought McDonald's, and then we hung out, and then after that, it's just been like that. So.
She actually paid.
She paid.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then like after that, like
Keep her.
for sure, yeah, definitely. But after that, we hung out a whole lot after that, and we just got close. And then I asked her out, and
Nice.
it's awesome, man. I love everything about it. It's great.
That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so I mean, Nestor, thank you so much for being on, man.
Thank you guys
it's
for
been
having
great,
me, man.
and CrossFit. Maybe one day I'm gonna try it.
Please
And I
do.
said next time we're in
It's
Twin
fun.
Falls,
It's
we
fun.
should just
I'll do
we should
it.
just stop
Hey,
by.
next time I visit. I'll
Absolutely,
do it.
man. Absolutely.
Especially like how I mean, how you guys been talking about it? How like it's so like if we go there, like we're gonna be welcomed and all that.
Absolutely,
Just trying
yeah.
it like that. I'm 100% behind that. I want to try it. That'd be cool. So the place you go to, it's in Twin. It's in Twin Falls.
Yep, Twin Falls.
What's
Called
it called?
the Pack CrossFit.
The Pack CrossFit.
Yeah, dude, give a shout out, dude. Give a shout out.
Yeah,
To our millions and millions of listeners.
Shout
Mike
out to the
Strong's
Pack.
doing it, right?
What's that?
Mike Strong?
Oh yeah, well he's the one that got me into it.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen pictures of him and I was like, wait.
Yep.
That's
he's
Mike
the one that
Strong.
got me
Really?
into
Yeah,
it.
because it's. I remember having Strom in 6th grade, and the one almost like vivid memory I had of him was always drinking a Coke and always having his bag of chips that he'd keep in his desk.
Yeah.
And then when I saw him the last time, he like thinned down completely.
Doing
like,
triathlons and everything.
Yeah,
dude.
that is.
Yeah, he's the one that got me into CrossFit. He had talked about it. It's like, man, you gotta try this, you gotta do that, and finally I tried it, and man, I've been hooked ever since.
You haven't turned back, huh?
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
please, man, yeah, no, please.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
I mean,
It's fun. It's fun.
and
Yeah.
it's really
I'm willing to do it, man.
Yeah.
it's an
Especially,
honor. And it's an honor
going down.
to have me
Because
here,
I
dude.
remember when I was in Twin, and then I had I texted you because one thing I think that like everyone who follows me on Instagram is probably just like. Because all my Instagram stories like I'm at the gym,
Yeah.
and then probably people are like, oh fuck,
Oh, dude, I love it, yeah.
And then but you saw that I was at Golds, and then I texted you like, yeah, dude, I'm at Golds, and then you still have your membership, you want to come over, but then you're like, well, why don't you just come over and work out?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll do it. And then it was like either the 5 a.m. or 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to do the 6 a.m. I'm going to keep it safe.
Yeah.
And then I remember Foss telling me, like, dude, you're not going to wake up, dude. You're not going to go. And sure enough, dude, I woke up,
Dude, he
dude.
was
I
there,
woke up,
dude.
did a little pre-workout.
Awesome.
Like,
Oh,
just
yeah,
drank it.
dude.
I was like, all right, let's go. Let's do this.
Pre-workout. It's like, dude, you gotta drink that, dude.
Snorts in and drinks some water.
Wide awake now.
But no, really, guys. I mean, like I said, great setup. I mean, great idea you guys have going on. I mean, and please keep it going, man. And you guys gotta, I love how you guys are documenting everything, every step you guys go on. One day you guys will look back at these, I was like, man, look at that.
I'm excited for that.
And so,
man. Like that's what wakes me up in the morning.
Show your kids, you're like, hey.
Look what we did.
Tell all these stories, like,
dude.
which was cool because we talk about the FCCLA. I thought it was only like my.
Oh, dude.
I didn't know that you guys
Apparently
too.
it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Apparently I was just left out of it.
Well, you guys got the technology. You got your brother, or you got you when you were in Twin Falls, and you would still be able to participate and things like that. You guys are doing great, man. Good job. And
Thanks,
like I
man.
said, it's a great setup and
Yeah.
everything. Keep it going, and I mean, it's truly an honor to be invited, and thank you for the invite.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
All right. Well, Tony, if you want to go ahead and take us away.
So, there's a very big chance that next week's episode will be pushed back to the following weekend because some of us will be out of town. I will be.
I'm trying to convince Louis to help. Maybe we could do it.
If not,
I'm okay with him. And
Louis needs to jump in.
Yeah. If not, then there won't be an episode next week, and we'll film we'll do on the following week. I'm going to be in California for a birthday party. He's going to a country concert with Maggie. So.
Wait, country?
Yeah.
I'm going to country concert. Yeah, I've never been. Hopefully, it's fun. But
it's supposed to be Night of the Country. So.
Yeah.
I heard they don't take kindly to your kind of.
Son, I've been getting. Yeah, definitely.
I heard they'll probably find a kind of like a fruit place for you to go start picking. All right, Jose. Sorry, that was the white half of me coming out. Discúlpame.
Dude, just for the record, dude, when we were kids, Dean was like the rich kid in the town, dude.
I was not rich.
He had the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis.
No.
Mortal Kombat 3, dude. Nobody had Mortal Kombat 3, dude. And Dean.
No. The rich kid was Michael. Michael had all the shit.
Michael.
Oliver Stifler?
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. He did have the PlayStation.
Stifler had all of the stuff, dude. I was telling these guys, I had a Super Nintendo from kindergarten all the way to like my sophomore year in high school. So.
You guys should have Louis and tell the story when he broke Michael Oliver's window. And so.
He's like, me.
That's for the next episode.
Let me clarify. I didn't have any rich shit. I had a lot of weird shit. Like, my dad one time found a two-person bike, a 2-seater.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And then me and Mole were driving it, and then me and Mole were riding it, and then there was this guy who worked at the covered wagon who saw me and Mole at the store. He's like, "Oh, the 2-seater bike."
Dude,
and then,
Dad.
Okay. For the record, that's not what I'm gonna say.
What Dan said.
What he said. I don't. So he saw us riding the bike, the 2-seater bike, and he looked at me and Mole and was like, You guys are a couple of fags, huh? And then me and Mom looked at him like, no. But to be fair, and then I had a Schwinn, a Devo bike, and I remember Eric would grab it from the bike rack and ride it to Mr. Ward's, and then one time Mr. Schramm caught him and got him in trouble and shit. So I wasn't rich by any means. I just had a lot of weird shit. Let me clarify that, man. I grew up in the hood, man.
In the hood, you had a trailer. We lived in studios.
Well, everyone had a trailer, dude.
Not everyone. I lived in an apartment first.
Yeah, dude.
Well,
When did you live in an apartment?
I didn't. Well, no. I lived. Okay, yeah, a trailer. Okay, yeah. It's not like I lived in a mansion. Right,
well, it was a double wide.
No, my grandma's was a single. No, my grandma was a double.
You and your sister got fed breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Listen, man. I went with my grandma to the general store. And I was surprised because she had purple, green, and yellow money, and then I found out that she had them food stamps. So I was not rich. So don't be man.
You were rich. Your grandma wasn't.
My grandma was rich.
All right, Tony, go ahead and sign us out.
If this is your first time listening, then thanks for coming. The Drunk Weekends LV podcast produced every Saturday for your enjoyment. Come back often. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Drunk Weekends LV and at Facebook.com/DrunkWeekendsLV. Yeah, it was an amazing show. Thanks, Nestor, for coming out and doing it for us.
Thank you for Nestor coming out. Shout out to the pack.
Yeah.
Always, it was cool talking about CrossFit and all that, because
I'm ready to learn for sure.
And it's cool because we're into lifting weights and everything, so it's always cool to talk.
And Rosie, Maggie said she'll be on next time. So.
The plan was we thought Maggie was gonna be on here because I guess Rosie's a big fan.
Rosie apparently thinks she's the only funny one.
Well, she's pretty damn
I'm like, come on, those guys are funny too.
We'll give you a little inside knowledge. We were getting ready to kind of push Tony out.
But Tony fought his way back.
Tony won't move.
Lawsuit.
Right here. Microphones.
Tony's like Eric Cartman, dude. He take his shit and leave.
You guys with an iPhone?
This is
record with an iPhone, you fucks.
All right, guys. Good night.